Hi, I'm Matt Jull. I'm from Rise Advisory, and today we have with us Paul Reid. Paul is the director of ICONiCITY. ICONiCITY is New Zealand's largest trader of apartments, and based here in Auckland. And it's a pleasure to have you with us here today, Paul. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got started in this business and a bit about your journey?
I originally got started in investing in property when I was 21. I was working on Shortland Street, and I came across a book called Rich Dad Poor Dad. It's influenced a lot of people's lives, and it made a lot of sense to me. And through that book I slowly started building a portfolio of real estate in Auckland, and then yeah, it came pretty easy to me and did pretty well. By the time I was 23, I'd kind of built up a portfolio of $2.5 million worth of real estate, and I thought it was all too easy, and went off to the States to pursue my acting and music career. A couple of years later, it didn't really work out. Had a pregnant wife, came back to New Zealand with 30k in the bank. Didn't have much in the way of acting jobs at that time either, so I got back into reading that book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, and some other material that I'd acquired over my early years of investing in properties. And at that time, it was 2006, and I'd just sold my last house, and then I just saw the house get resold for about 200 grand more than I'd sold it for, and so I was pretty well, depressed in the sense that I thought I'd never be able to own a house again. Prices were going up at an astronomical rate. So I found my old, real estate stuff, and I started looking around at opportunities to see where I could, buy some real estate again, because that was, one of the only true ways I knew how to make money. And I found that in apartments. At the time, apartments were pretty, not very, and it's not very, what's the word? I guess people were very sceptical of them, and not many people knew a lot about them. So I thought that would be a great kind of industry to get into, because I thought the fundamentals, I did a lot of study. I spent a year researching all the apartments and reading articles, going to the library about the growth of inner city, and the revitalisation of inner city areas and other cities that are comparable to Auckland. And I just thought that long-term apartments actually could be a good thing. So anyway, long story short, I started getting into apartments, bought a couple just as investments, and I found myself I had a very good knack for buying them very well, finding very motivated vendors, and then adding some value by painting and carpeting and staging, and then got approached to sell one, which wasn't my intention at the time, for quite a substantial profit, and I thought, gosh, this is a great way of making money. It's something I really enjoy, and everyone's winning. So yeah, so through that I started looking at other opportunities where I could actually actively trade, so buy apartments, well, and then add value and then resell them for higher. And then that just grew organically to where we are now, which is last year the company turned over 12 million. This year we're on track to turn over 24 million. Last year we bought and sold 122 times. This year we're on track to exceed 200. And now we've got a dedicated in-house sales team, an in-house acquisitions team, and some great support staff, some great accounts people, and a great project management team. So it's it's just, I guess, a passion of mine, and we've found a bit of a niche in the market. We can offer vendors, people selling apartments, quite good terms that no other company or no other real estate agent at least can offer. And on the selling side, we can also offer some things that most other real estate agents or private vendors aren't offering. So yeah, it's good fun.
You mentioned there, you're very, very passionate about property. You can see that, and often I find people in property never treat this like a business. When did you make that decision when you were going to treat it like a business, and what's been the experience for you?
Yeah, it wasn't until I met Jerome at Rise Advisory, which was when he gave us perspective to actually realise that this can be something beyond myself and and an assistant. And it was only after meeting him when we started, actually taking some proper accounting measures and internalising a lot of data, studying the data, and tracking all the data that we were kind of using. It wasn't until then, after we met Jerome, where we decided that, yeah, hey, this business can actually stand alone on its own, and that it's actually a viable business in its own right. It's not just some guy trying to buy some apartments and flip them off for more. So, so I guess that would have come quite recently, to be honest, probably in the last 6 months. So.
Yeah. You also talk about having a high expectation of yourself, which is great. But you also mentioned there, Paul, that you have a high expectation of staff. And how do you express that to them? How do they know what your expectations are?
By having the best people on board this company, we can deliver the best product in the shortest amount of time. To me, it's just all about having the best and having the team. I mean, the company's nothing without the people who are in it, and it's really important to have the best people on board. And so, yeah, I'm pretty adamant about getting the best people on board this company to continue its growth. So.
Yeah. How do you communicate your expectations to your staff then?
How do I communicate my expectations to staff? With a whip. No, just kidding. Not at all. I'd say I'm probably a very fair boss. Yeah, how do I communicate them? I mean, we regularly meet. Communication is key. We reward them well for stuff well done. We have a lot of extracurricular activities that we take part in to kind of bond the team together. In terms of disciplinary action, well, that's something I probably still am yet to be fully versed in. I like to avoid conflict by nature, so yeah, I do. There's something I still need to work on myself in terms of actually disciplinary type things. So. But yeah, I mean, to answer your question, I guess, yeah, talk to them.